Video, I'm going to give you a quick walkthrough of the projects feature inside of QuickBooks Online. Hi there, for those who don't know me, I'm Robin Buckaloo. I'm a certified public accountant from Boise, Idaho, and I teach bookkeepers how to utilize QuickBooks and build a better business. So inside of QuickBooks Online, I'm in a demo file, so this isn't any real client information you're seeing here. But on the left-hand menu, you can see that I have projects as an option. Now, if you're like me and you can't stand all these excessive menus, you can click on the little pencil icon here. And I like to get rid of all the extra items that I just don't need by unclicking the box, hit save. And now it's much easier to just see the things that I actually want. So here inside the projects center, you can see projects that we have created. And what this allows our contractor clients to do is understand the profitability down at the project level versus what we normally do as bookkeepers is we let them see their margin and their profitability for their business as a whole. And yes, there are some workarounds that you may have seen in the past, like using the customer as a class, and then they run their P&L by class, and it's just this big, messy report, and it doesn't make a lot of sense because you have to decide what time frame to run it for or run it for all time, and then it can just get huge, 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 huge as I get more projects. So the better solution is to use the projects feature here in QuickBooks Online. Now, if your clients are already using customers, one of the things that you can do is you can actually convert a sub-customer to a project. So for example, I could create a sub-customer here first. Let's get rid of all these extra options from QuickBooks. All right, so we'll say this is Amy's bathroom remodel. So if I create Amy as a sub-customer, because sometimes you're going to have clients who have multiple projects that they'll do for one big client. And so if you have the sub-customer set up, then you actually can convert that sub-customer to a project. Now, one of the things that I didn't mention, but we have to be sure of, is if you set this up, make sure this bill parent customer box is selected. If it's not, you won't be able to convert the sub-customer. So when I go into projects, I have this option up here to convert from sub-customer. So if I click that, these are all of the sub-customers that have been created. And I can click on Amy's bathroom remodel and convert that into a project. So why would you want to do that? Once you convert sub-customers into projects, or you can just create the project directly, you don't have to create a sub-customer first. Once you've created the project, you have access to more reports than you would otherwise have. So I'm going to click on, actually, let me go back. I'm going to click on one of these that we have some numbers in just so you can see. So if I go to Amy's front yard renovation, under project reports, you're going to see there's 3 different reports that QuickBooks Online provides only if you're using the project feature. So one of these is the project profitability report, and this lets the client see how have they done on this specific project. So it's basically a P&L for the project specifically, so you can see how they've done. Now, technically, have we been able to do that before? Yes, you could run a P&L and filter it by customer or project to basically create that report. So there's usually a workaround, right? All right, this one is the time cost by employee or vendor. So basically shows any employee time that's been tracked in QuickBooks and associated with this specific project. And then the other report that we have is unbilled time and expenses by project. So those 3 reports are handy. I personally love this actual dashboard that we get to use when we use projects. So I love that it gives the client a visual representation of where they're at on this project and how they're doing. And so you can see the income, which is just going to be invoices that you've created and associated with the customer. You can see the cost of goods sold, which is again going to be expenses that we've associated with this project specifically. You also can have expenses if you do bills or if you run payroll, you can see those under expenses as well. So let me just show you one other thing here. If I click on project details, this is nice. We can put all the project information in here. We can do our attachments. You can track time. So if you're using QuickBooks timesheets or using QuickBooks payroll, then you can track that time in here. And then just like the customer center, you have basically a project center where you can see all the transactions associated with the project in a single place. So I personally think the projects feature in QuickBooks Online is pretty cool. This was one of the things that before they added this, I would have said, don't move your clients who are contractors or in construction off of QuickBooks Desktop. But now I would say, yes, QuickBooks Online works great for your contractor clients because we do have projects, we do have progress invoicing, and so a lot of the features that we need are now in here. The only feature that I think is still lacking is the estimates versus actuals report. You have to have the advanced subscription. You can't do it with a plus subscription. So that's kind of a bummer because I did enjoy having that report so my clients could see where we were at in the project. But overall, I think this projects feature is really cool. And so if you want to learn more about job costing or how to become a better bookkeeper so you can work with clients who are in the construction, landscaping, HVAC, plumbing, roofing, siding, all these different contractor niches, then do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, join the Facebook group. It's called Bookkeep Anywhere, where we're going to continue to share more lessons, more knowledge, more training to help bookkeepers to advance their skills and to build a better bookkeeping business.